Aloha, hey, it's Julie Zeemless, 365 Hawaii, real broker, and I'm with,
Lance Owens with Luva Real Estate.
and we are doing the West Hawaii market update for July.
June.
I'm like, where am I? June, July. And also, if people are over on the old Facebook land, you also just saw Amber talk. And so we also, Lance and I and Amber just did a fun little funny stories that we've dealt with in real estate. And that will show up on our YouTube channel. So if people over on YouTube land, you're going to get 3 pieces of content just from today. Aren't we cool and creative? But one thing that's happened recently is that I think we have a little bit of a market shift. So I think that, and of course, I haven't read the numbers as much as my buddy over here has, but I am very interested to hear
You know how I love to counter back. We should be like, what was that show? Counterpoint?
Yeah. Let's talk about the fact that it froze. The market froze in May, but it got better in June. So, okay. So what you got?
Okay. Well, you remember we had a good market in May.
It was kind of slow. But the numbers that you were reading were 45 days old. Mm-hmm. So now, yeah. 45 days from May
would be this report right here.
Okay. And you look like this is an okay report. Okay.
No, okay, I'll be honest with you, because there's something that's scary. You guys know me and the number. Everybody's been watching us for all these years.
The condo market.
I saw a number that I'm like, whoa, something's happening here. We need to really watch this and nail it down, right?
Okay.
And I might as well start right there.
Yes, what happened? Let's hear it.
So what happened? So we dropped in condo sales 52%.
Month over month or year over year?
Year over year for that month.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was last month for June.
For June.
Okay. Which shows that May was a horrible month.
Yeah, so Julie's to argue that one out with me. Okay, so we had that. So that was, because me and my numbers. I like to see. I wanted to see what happened, what's going on, why it happened.
What happened?
And I kind of saw that happening. I think when we did our last report, I kind of talked that I'm a little worried how the condo market's going to come out next month, because we were so little and there was so little in escrow at that point that there was physically no way we were going to make
those numbers.
The numbers. So 52% drop in condos in the number of sales.
That's a lot.
So that was huge.
Yeah.
So I did a deeper dive into it just to see what's going on. I still don't have an exact answer, but what I do know is that looking at this month, what we've got sold as of today, we are headed dead on for the exact same that we sold last year.
Okay.
So it was a little blip last month that whatever reason we should have really gone over this month instead of just being on track for what we were a year ago.
Yeah.
And I think we were a little bit high the previous month. I don't remember May. I should have looked at that, but we can look at that. You guys can look at that. We got all the numbers there.
Yeah, Brad helps out.
Yeah.
But one thing I think is that because we did the real estate trade show in April, when the insurance guy basically said, I've got no good news for you in terms of what's going to happen to HOA fees. And then they really started hitting.
Yeah,
they
really started hitting.
As people started having their annual meetings or what, I don't know, just all of a sudden, just in the last few months, it seems all the insurance companies decided to contact all the HOA managers.
Well, they're due. You know what happened is they didn't, so with the fires that happened in August, it really takes several months for it to
finally
even
roll down
have an effect. And then, so let's say, by December, January, it was, okay, now they looked at worldwide. They had a worldwide disaster. It was a disastrous year period for the insurance companies.
Yeah.
This isn't a popular statement when I say it, but I'm still going to say it, as I think that we've been underpaying for insurance in Hawaii for a long time because we were just forgotten about out here.
Right.
They don't have problems out there. Just leave them alone.
Right.
And I can tell that, I can tell you that as a fact, because many people coming in buying condos would be surprised at how little the insurance was. So this year now, as things are rolling around, they're finally getting their renewals now, February, March, April, May, June, and then they're shopping them. Now they got 2 or 3 months to do it. So, and now reality's hit that everybody's gone up anywhere from, 100 to
300 to 1,000%.
Yeah. I'm seeing some are only going up 100%. I just got back from Maui a few hours ago, and they had one of the guys over there I was talking to. Theirs went from $250 a month. $250,000 a year to $1.1 million a year.
That's basically what happened in Kona Coffee Village.
Yeah.
Yeah, and another thing too, that when we were being under the radar, that just like everywhere else in America, our housing values went up 100%, right? Over the course of like the last 4 or 5 years, right? So now everything's more expensive to replace if we do get hit, right? So then they had to go into those replacement costs, and then they had to say, "Oh shit, this condo is not worth $340,000 anymore. It's worth $700,000."
Okay, I'm gonna challenge you on that.
Okay,
No,
50%.
well, no, you're right because it did go up, but as these condos got purchased every year, it was the insurance company's job to see the value of the condo. So they didn't just double in one year. They should have been going up
Oh yeah,
incrementally
they should have.
when
Yeah,
the
but
prices went
but
up.
they kind of weren't watching what was going on because
Yeah,
you would think it should have gone up incrementally.
yeah,
But it
it should.
didn't. And then all
Yeah,
of a sudden they start going like, oh, let me look at that. And they go, oh, that condo complex is now worth $5 million, and it was, $2.5 million, 4 years ago.
yeah. I mean, there's several things.
Yeah,
There's the
yeah.
disasters around the world.
Disasters, and then looking at their basically their liability and their risk,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and they're only insuring a lot of them for 80% instead of 100%.
Yeah,
You can't
yeah.
get a loan on a place that only has an 80%
Yeah.
insurance coverage.
Yeah,
So now they're having to get a second coverage for the other 20%.
and they're being raped.
Yeah, yeah. And to talk a little bit more about that whole going up incrementally, our personal home went up 87%, right?
Ooh.
So I've got a 4-year-old home, and it is built all in the latest and greatest standards. I'm not in a fire zone. I'm not in a wind zone. I'm at the base of a rainforest. I got a metal roof. I'll talk about that in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
But and I have incrementally,
Incrementally.
thank you, raised our insurance every year. I get together and we do an evaluation on our home, and I'm like, we don't have enough coverage. Raise it.
Oh,
So I've been doing that, and our insurance went up 87%.
even after you've been doing that.
Even after I protected our family with making sure that we're covered for what it's in. So a little bit of challenge on that thought process because it's who knows.
Yeah.
Who knows what's going through.
But maybe like in May, everyone across America said, "Oh my gosh, I'm this insurance thing. I need to take a step back and figure this out."
Yeah.
Yeah. But I did hear that this first year is going to be the worst, and then as they
Yeah.
kind of figure shit out, then it might get better. But the first year now, just trying to keep it, just get it all together and get everybody on the policies and stuff is the worst.
Mhm.
So if you are looking to purchase a home or a condo, do some research on getting your home insurance, so at least you can figure in the cost of what that might
And
be.
yeah, and do it on a home, too, because I just had a home that they denied insurance on it.
Mhm.
It's a 19-year-old home. And it had a 30-year roof on it. The home inspection was done. Roof was fine. They're like, probably in about 10 years, you're going to have to replace this. Insurance company looked at it on the MLS and said, we won't insure that property.
So,
And they said, we want the roof replaced. And
Yeah.
they said, and then when you replace it, it's got to be a metal roof
oh,
because, fire embers land on
Yeah,
the roof. And
yeah.
that's how so many things go.
do you think that's going to be kind of across the board?
A lot of people are getting called out on that.
Oh, because we have a guy that has like a 20-year-old roof
Yeah.
that's near the end of his lifestyle or his lifespan.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, maybe I'll just put that in so when people who buy the house have to put their own new roof in, and I'll just be, we'll pay
Yeah.
the price. But getting someone to put in a new roof for you, but then you can't get your mortgage until the roof is done.
Right.
So
that's
yeah.
that's scary.
Yeah.
When they're having that kind of control, right?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
So I was just pulling up here. Sorry, you guys, I got delayed in Maui this morning, and I landed and literally drove from the
Literally
airport
right
here,
here,
threw my shirt out in the street, and I have not been home. And so I'm doing everything off of this, and I didn't have it printed out. But I did pull it up while I was sitting in the airport. So interestingly enough, there's 104 homes available today.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually jumping over to condos. I want to see how many, because that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So look at this. This is even surprising me. I haven't looked for a few days. So you guys, we were 50, 60 a year ago, I think, available. This year we've been hovering around 100, just under, just over. We're at 127 condos available right now. Normal market would put us at about 135 condos.
So we're
active.
just getting there now.
We're just coming. So,
The
like,
market
don't
is
freak out.
definitely
Yeah, it's changing. But now
softening
remember,
like a pound of
But-
butter left out in the hot summer day.
I tracked where our sales are to date. Today's only the 12th, but I tracked it. We are tracking to equal what we did last year.
Okay.
Okay, but we've got a lot more inventory.
Yeah, I
So
I got a
127.
condo to sell you. I got a 2-2 that has been on the market since February.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
it's there's
it's a
so
lot of
much
choices
inventory,
again.
yes,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then therefore people
Yeah.
get a chance to like make decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but I get sellers. There's 3 condos in the same complex, and nobody's breaking on price. So sellers are also holding firm. So
we'll wait.
yeah, they'll
You
wait.
know, I'm not gonna take this loss
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then do it. So that's gonna come out in our sale price thing. So
yeah, yeah.
let's look at residence. I've got this sheet pulled up.
Okay.
So it is residential homes. There's breaking your myth.
Oh,
They went
no, the
up.
condo market's a mess. The single family home market, eh.
They went up. The number of sales last month went up 5%.
Hey, there you go.
So home sales still doing good, still doing strong. We're solid there.
Okay.
Let's look at median price. So you know what? One thing that we don't usually report on this that much because it usually goes hand in hand with the amount of money that exchanged hands. When the numbers go up, the amount of money exchanged went up
Yeah.
and down. So, you know what? Let me just look at this closely this time, right?
In terms of
So,
volume, you mean?
yeah, dollar volume.
Okay.
So a year ago in June, there was $22,719,000 in exchange hands that month. This year, there's $22,575,000.
So it's almost the same.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
$200,000, one condo difference, right? Not even less than that. I mean, half a condo difference in the amount. So that was kind of interesting, I thought.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
52% drop in the numbers sold,
Right.
but an incremental amount in the money in exchange hands. So now we got to look at like, okay, what was the median price?
Yeah, obviously higher.
Let's go see what that was. So, in our favorite condos, again, 548 a year ago. Remember last year sat around 550 all year long. It was kind of flat. So condo prices went up 8% this year.
Okay.
So we're at went from 548 to 592
Okay.
is what it went up to.
So the ones that are selling
Are getting
what
money.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so how about list of sales? I can't read this.
I got to
because my
go to
eyes are all
another
messed
sheet.
up.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay.
I got to change screens. Let me just
Okay.
do the
Okay.
houses because usually I
Okay.
have it printed out.
Okay, then you can bounce around.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
okay.
it's
So
a little bit.
what's the median price for a
So
house?
the median price for a house went from 1.215 a year ago to 1.172 today.
A little bit lower.
Yeah, dropped 8%. So
So there you go.
So, yeah,
What you
8%
gained it
drop
on
in
one,
price.
you lost
Yeah.
it on the other.
but yeah, so it's kind of interesting. 8
Yeah.
and 8 on that.
Yeah.
So year to date, homes are up 0.5%, and year to date, condos are up 17%.
For pricing?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
So the ones that are selling are making money on it.
yeah. They're still making money. So let's jump over to condo sales summary.
Okay.
Okay, our days on market to sale lowest was 0. Oh, I gotta close this part out here. We're losing part. The median price condos, or median, I'm sorry, days on market was 18. The average was 51.
Okay. So you know what though? Get this. We have a buyer that is looking for an oceanfront condo. Right? He's cash. Right? He goes and looks at these different condos, and these are they're flying off the market. So
Yeah.
some of these condos, because they're unusual or unique, or they might make a bunch of money in the STVR world, I think are moving, and a lot of those are the more expensive ones because the investors are out.
Yeah.
I think the schmo condos that people can't do STVR on are the ones that are sitting around a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So,
Share one we closed today, oceanfront.
oh, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got 2 other oceanfront listings.
Yeah?
And we're getting another new one. Actually, I'm interviewing on the 23rd. I think I'm getting another oceanfront listing.
Like full on oceanfront?
Yeah. The one today that we haven't come out with yet or anything is full on oceanfront. But yeah, so
Tell Eric to get, yeah.
so
Needs and wants.
yeah. So let's jump down to sale to original price.
Yeah.
So this is what you and Amber always love to say. What the
Yeah,
sale
sales and
price
prices are.
Macy's having a sale today. The sale last month on condos was a little less than 3%.
Okay.
2.8%
Yeah.
was a sale.
Yeah. So people are still getting. Here we
Still
go
getting-
again. The people who aren't being able to sell aren't even getting a shot to lower their price because they're not getting people to bid on it. Where the people who are selling their condos probably have a very good product and they're
Good
moving out of the
product,
market. They're getting off the
and
market
they listed
quickly.
and they priced it
Yeah,
correctly. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So that's that. The highest was 116%.
Nope.
Sale that was to sale to original price,
Wow.
and the lowest was 85%.
Wow.
So don't know what happened there.
That's called
That
it
was interesting.
on the market.
Yep. So that was good. So
Okay.
let's jump over to the homes, right? So what did homes sale to original price last month? 99.79% average, 98% median.
Wow. Yep,
So
yep,
not
yep,
much. So we got
yep.
a fraction of a percent on sale.
Yeah, like this. So
Yeah.
again, it just shows that it's strong demand. And we do have a variety of buyers, and they're on Zillow or like on our listing alerts, checking it
Yeah.
out every day. And I think the people are waiting for like the thing that they really want to come on, and when they find that thing, they are on it. So I think that before, like let's say back in 2018, whatever, that there was probably more inventory, but maybe less eyeballs, because it just seems there's a lot of eyeballs, and the people will move for the right house.
Yeah, they'll move for the right house.
Where I
They
think
won't
that,
move. We got used to everybody just moved because there was a house there,
right,
right?
right,
You
right. But
know?
now people are like, if I'm going to spend that kind of
Yeah.
money, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to spend it, But it seems also though that at least are you hearing anybody say things like, I'm waiting for the interest rates to drop?
I'm not hearing that a lot.
No, I think
No,
people
not
are like
anymore.
the ones
People were
where,
waiting.
yeah, I think people are like this. Okay, that's where it is now. Right, it was like 7.5
Yeah.
last year at this time, so it really hasn't changed too much. But people have to make a decision on what lifestyle they want, and I think that they're just going to say, "It's time for." I just retired. I signed my
Yeah.
last, opportunity to take a paycheck. I'm going to leave now, and so yeah, we put 2 retirees into homes in the last 2 weeks.
Nice.
Yeah,
Very
so
cool.
people
Yeah,
are saying,
that's
you know
good.
what, I'm following my dream. I'm moving to Hawaii.
Yeah, at some point, I don't think we're going backwards. So.
No,
Yeah, and I think I say, I think we've all become experts on the interest rate. We all know
yeah,
what's going on with jobs now more than we ever knew before,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And inflation and things like that. We're all watching this. Of course, it's an election year and everything else too. We've got all these weird things
Yeah,
going
we have
on.
some weird
So,
things going on.
so I'll be
Hawaii is a beautiful place to escape America.
it is. It's like, what are you guys talking about? What happened over there? I don't know.
Yeah, we're like, what?
Yeah.
Like Amber said today, everyone's driving driverless cars.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I have friends who like show me videos of themselves in those cars,
Uh-huh.
but it seems like it's a different world
Yeah.
because we just don't have that here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is like we're living in Mayberry RFD over here, and
Like the
rural
story
land.
we told too about the neighbor grabbing the mail for the new owner and stuff like that.
Yeah, that we
It's kind
still
of a
have
different world.
old time farmy experience here. Yeah, Eric and I went to Oahu this week. Was there for a root canal, and it's just so different. There's so many people.
Oh yeah.
And the neighborhoods are so crammed together, and
Yeah.
it's like nature neighborhood. And here, just wide open spaces, and we don't have the high rises, and we don't have the crowded neighborhoods. There is something very special about living here.
I just got back from Japan a few days
Oh,
ago,
how was
right?
that? Yeah.
I'm so glad to be home.
Oh.
I mean, I was looking and we were walking 5-6 miles a day, right? And some days it said that I'd gone up 12 flights of stairs, and that was just subways going up and down and in and go to the second floor, take this one. By the time we get down there, we got to jump on another subway, go down to the third floor to catch that one going that way, and then back up and around, and the high speed trains, and
Yeah.
so it was cool. We had a fun time.
That's
but
exciting, huh?
I'm glad to be home.
Yeah, where we can just get in our car
I
and just
did it.
drive.
I'm over it. I'm gonna go. Okay, I think it's gonna be Australia next or something.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that'll be my
I'd like to
next
do
one.
that too.
Yeah, I want to get out. It's just so many millions of people and so much. It was just crazy. We rented the go-karts and we went around Tokyo for, I think it was a 3-hour tour
Wow.
through Tokyo on go-karts.
Yeah.
And then went to Kona Pass and rented the JDM cars. That was a 5-hour tour. So that was, so we had a lot of fun. It was
Yeah,
good,
that's
but
one
it's
thing
good to
about
be home.
getting off this island is that
Yeah.
you get those opportunities.
Yeah, and then you get to come home.
Right. And he got a chance to have Kobe beef, so I like really sliced
Oh,
the food.
Kobe beef 6 nights out of the 12.
Because you're,
we were
oh,
there.
that's so good.
And it was so cheap. and so
Yeah,
good and
see,
so
here
cheap.
it's so expensive. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was really great to be able to get into
That's
there.
crazy.
Yeah, so that's one thing too. It's nice that you come back to our form of paradise on
Yeah.
this island, and then we can go out and eat and
Yeah.
shop and everything else every place in the
I
world.
can't tell
So
you how happy I was to get home and turn on my grill
yeah,
and throw my steak on there.
be responsible for your own food.
Yeah, it wasn't Wagyu, but it was still good. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. So drop your notes in the description if you guys love Big Island as much as we do.
yeah.
Yeah. So okay, anything else?
So what we do with that? Average days on the market, median for a home was 12, average was 38.
Nope.
Average price per square foot was 693 and 616 was the median.
Mm-hmm.
And let's jump over to absorption rate, right? We always like to talk about that. Hold on, you guys, I got to get up to that.
Absorption. How fast are they leaving the market?
Yeah, what's happening and how long are they going to last? What's the scoop on that? Okay, so, this form breaks it up a little bit different. So this is condos island-wide. What's the absorption rate? Real brief. Below 15 is buyer's market. Above 20 is a seller's market. 15 to 20 is a good market. For years and years and years, we were sat around 20%.
Yeah, which
So we
always was
jumped-
kind of a seller's market, right?
Yeah, it was.
But not crazy, but
Yeah,
just more
it was
edge.
just barely into us. It was still considered normal, but at the sellers favored the seller a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, we got up to 90-something% during COVID. So that
Yeah,
was
yeah,
kinda
yeah.
crazy.
No one was
Yeah.
doing it. Yeah.
So right now, condos island wide. Remember, most of them are in Kona anyway.
Yeah, or at West Hawaii.
What?
I mean,
yeah, along the coast here, the west coast, right? 30% is the absorption rate now.
that means like full on seller's market.
Still strong sellers market.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Housing is at 24%. So
Okay.
it's still a seller's market there.
Yeah.
And again, that's island wide now, so we're taking into account some of the slower areas now that have
Yeah.
slowed down.
Like in Puna. And,
Yeah, Puna
Yeah.
and Ocean View and those places where it's slowed down a little bit. So if we go to just North Kona and we look at the absorption rate there as an average, homes and condos are sitting at 28%. So
Okay.
still a seller's market.
Yeah,
and,
yeah. So for
it's
all
not
of you guys
crazy.
thinking about listing your house, obviously you can see that the market's still maybe it's not on fire, but at least it looks like if you've got a good home, it's
Yeah.
in good condition, it's going to sell in a pretty good amount of time.
Well, and listen to your realtor. I mean, they don't set the price, but they give you good information, and they're there to decipher that information for you and tell you
Yeah.
what that means.
Yeah.
So it's important to listen. I know your neighbor got this for their house, and yours is better. You got a better view. We all feel that way. I feel that way about my house. My house is better than that neighbor's. My view's better. But listen to your realtor that doesn't have any emotion attached
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
property and,
yeah.
and the neighborhood, and knows the market.
Yeah,
Sees
that's
the
what,
fan.
what comps are for.
Yeah.
In fact, I had a gentleman say, "I don't like your answer. I think that I could sell that house for more." I'm like, "Oh, this isn't me coming up with this
Yeah,
stuff." I go, "These are comps. These are
Yeah.
what people are willing to pay for your house, sir."
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, it's better than that." And then 2 months later, well, okay, maybe you were right. and then we sold it with him like that far because once we got the price to where it was supposed to be,
yeah.
then it goes.
There
So
it goes.
yeah,
It's kind of, and like I say, we all, again, because everything's negotiable, and our clients set the price, we all have taken listings that are overpriced because we hope that our clients will come around and see that you actually gave them good advice.
Yeah.
And another thing is, too, I would hate to be the person that sold it too low.
right.
You
That's
know?
why you test the market. You
Yeah.
say, okay, we'll go with it a little higher. And that's why we always tell people if the house has been sitting there for at least 2 weeks, maybe then you can go in and try and do something.
How many showings have you had in
Right.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
If you had a lot and no offers, that's telling you something.
Yeah.
If you have none, that's telling you something. They're both telling you the same thing.
Yeah, they're basically you have no price listing.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So
But I'm not calling this person out. I'm just going to say in general that trying to put a lowball offer on a house that's been on the market for 1 day.
yeah, don't do it.
There you go.
Don't do it. If you think that the house is that overpriced, you should probably wait a little while.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe you want it.
When you say a little while, what do you think?
I mean, if it's seriously overpriced, it'll be sitting out there for that 38 days.
Yeah, yeah,
before something
yeah.
happens. So
Yeah.
that's a point where the seller they realize that they don't deal with it day in, day out like we do, right? They know that in the last year, the neighbor 4 houses down sold theirs in a week.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that was a year ago, though.
Yeah.
It
The
doesn't seem
supermarket.
like it to them. That was the other day to them,
Mm-hmm.
and, so the same thing. And the other one sold in 2 weeks. And, so they think that they still got a shot, that theirs is going to be different or
Mm-hmm.
special. And so it's really important to just get a price rate.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You take the data and use it wisely.
Yeah, and again, not to beat a dead horse, the woman who priced that house is a woman that sells a heck of a lot of real estate in this
Hmm.
town. And I'm like, oh, you going in and doing that basically tells her she doesn't know how to do her job in terms of pricing a house correctly. And it was in a cookie cutter neighborhood where a lot of the houses are selling
It's
for about
obvious.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I, that's one thing that you hopefully you listen to your agent, you counsel them, and the person said, okay, I get it, thank you. But I think that sometimes people are still thinking that there's going to be deals to be had in West Hawaii.
Yeah.
And if there's a deal to be had,
Somebody's got it already.
yeah, I mean,
I know you want to be that person to get it, but coming in on the first day.
with
But
a
call
lower
your agent
offer,
and
yeah.
look and see if this is the third time it's been listed.
Yeah.
This is the third
Yeah.
agent, because by the time they get to the third agent, I think they're listening. But I mean, they still want to go out and try their marketing because they're the best. But I think at a point where if you do that, so there's so many factors.
There is so many factors,
Yeah,
and
it's not
yeah.
easy.
In fact, we had a house that we were the third agent, that was the third listing agent, and the seller was just so tired of the whole experience
Yeah.
that he did put a really great price on that.
Mm-hmm.
And our buyers came in on the first moment that house was open, and
Yeah.
even then they were in a multiple offer
Yeah.
situation because that price brought in the buyers.
Brought in the buyer.
And people use that as a pricing strategy.
Yeah.
Putting it below market to try and get people to bid up the house. So
That's a dangerous thing, but it
sometimes
works.
it works.
It does, yeah. I sure, if there was a perfect way, we'd all be doing it.
Right.
There's a different way. for
Yeah,
different
yeah.
people.
I mean, again, with this market, you had one that was 116%.
Yeah,
So it did go over.
yeah.
So sometimes it
we went up
happens.
116%.
Yeah,
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So, in general, if you were a person coming into this market fresh and wide-eyed, what would you tell them to do at this
what I'm
point?
telling you, in fact, because we had a couple today that called us and we were talking about it, and I just said, if you're in the condo market, I would be watching very, very, very closely right now. I would watch it very, very closely because 127, I think we said, on the market. So many last month. Again, we're tracking okay now. I think this was just a little hiccup, but we don't have enough data to say, is this going to be a trend,
Right.
or was it is
hiccup.
it just a hiccup that happened? So
Yeah.
so when it comes to condo market, I'm going to say watch it closely, and I'm going to say if you're putting in an offer, two things: check and make sure if they've had their assessment for the insurance or how they handled it. Some of them are sitting good enough to where they actually had money
The
in
reserves.
reserves to pay it. But what does that tell you? Now there's no reserves
Uh-huh.
to fix the roof or the siding or the walkways or
Or
things
sewer
like that.
experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a dangerous situation to be in.
Yeah.
And if they had the assessment and then the dues are going up, at least you know what you're buying.
Right. And now when you have an idea of what your budget
Yeah.
is going to be for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also it's another, here we go, plug in the realtor, is the fact that realtors who sell condos on a regular basis will know what to look for. The reserves, the minutes, talking about what's going on, and also making sure that you see what's going on with those assessments. And like with one condo we just sold, the sellers or all the people in the condo complex decided just to pay a one lump chunk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody, everyone threw in $1,100.
Yeah.
And then we said in our thing, okay, we'll pay that $1,100 so you don't have to worry about it. And then the dues went up a little bit, but it didn't go up exponentially. But everyone said, okay, I'd rather pay a big chunk right now than to be dealing with you taking it out of the reserves.
Yeah. No, that's the way to do it, is to do it that way. I think it's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Get hit with this. I know one complex got hit with like a $4,000
A person thing.
yeah,
Wow.
$4,000 a unit assessment, and that's a little bit harder, especially if you're on a fixed living, fixed income.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't handle that. So that, I think that's part of the increase that we see in listings is that.
Yeah,
So
yeah. In fact, we talk about Lihilani.
yeah,
So, Lihilani, if you guys watch what we do on our TT&Ts, is one of those condo complexes that we track with what's happening in them. And Lance talks about this a lot as well. And normally over the last, 2 years, maybe if there's 4 or 5 in there
That
at
was a
one
lot.
time. It was, yeah. And it got to the point where there was nothing for a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, in this last month, it went to 14.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people in there because it's not an investment area.
Right.
It's for
fixed
people who actually
income.
live in there,
Yeah.
right? And now people can't afford to live there. And so
Yeah.
they're just saying, okay, I'm going to put my house on the market. And I had a friend of mine call and say, do you have somebody who's looking for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo rental? Because she does not want to be one of those people that just dump their house on the market and they're going to turn it into a rental instead.
Yeah.
So there might be opportunities for rentals right now too, my friends. I did hear that the price of rentals are going down as fewer people are moving here full time, and opportunities like that are opening up to spread out the rental experience. So put that in your pumpkin wagon.
So I just pulled up, you guys, I'm paying attention here, but I just pulled up Ali Ilani, they're at 15 active.
15
right
now.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
there might be a deal to be had in that complex.
And 480. And here's that guy that's got the 2 units together at
With $899. Yeah, he's never going to sell it.
So
Yeah.
we got 619, but wow, 480.
So where are the days on the? When do they?
31, 13, 10, 99,
Okay.
94, 35, 84, 86,
17.
17, 21, 38, and 62. But this one here, if you took a cumulative days on the market, you would it would be different, you know.
That's not fair. Yeah, throw that guy out.
Take that one out.
Yeah,
I know Delana always pulls that one out.
Yeah, because it's like, yeah, it's weird. Yeah,
she
$899.
reports on that,
But somebody who just was on the market 4 days ago put it in for $545, and that used to be the median price for a condo.
yeah.
So
Let's see how many are in. Oh, is there any in preview? No. Let's see if there's any in contingent or under contract.
no,
None. Nothing there. So that's interesting. So let's take Ali Ilani out of the picture here. Let's see how many condos.
Well, look at
are contingent.
Lee. The Sea Ridge. Sea Ridge is having people starting to put theirs on too.
Yeah, they had a big hit.
Yeah, so the assessments and the HOA fees are definitely having an impact on these condo complexes.
I'm gonna
And
look at a
again,
text message from
having
one
a
of my buyers.
realtor who knows the different complexes and knows what is average and what's normal in those complexes is very valuable as well.
Yeah, it makes all the difference in the world. And I'm sorry, I'm just looking. I'm
That's
gonna
okay.
find this
Yeah.
this text message. Good morning, sir. We got a letter from our HOA yesterday saying our insurance carriers have notified them that our insurance is expected to increase by 7 times in January.
Oh, in January?
Sevenfold in January when it comes up.
So when you get that kind of news,
Yeah.
you start saying it's time for me to go.
So this is Kona Sea Ridge.
So I'm telling you, Sea Ridge will look like a bunch of people are starting to put their houses on the market.
Yeah. 1.4 million a year for 137 units. Currently, it's at 241,000 a year.
Ooh.
And it
Case
was
in
120
point.
last year. So last year was 120,000.
Then it went to
doubled
241.
this January to 241, and now it's going up to 1.4 million.
Okay, I mean, seriously, if you guys are watching our show, this is information that, it's affecting the market. And
This
it's,
is why a buyer's agent is worth his weight in gold, too. I'm going to just do a
Plug
plug
that.
really
Yep.
quick, because you guys, in less than a month, or no, a month and 5 days,
Yep, on August 17th.
August 17th, it's required that any buyers, whether we're doing a virtual trip for you or not, we have to have a signed buyer's agreement. This is an agreement with the Department of Justice. It's not.
It's not Kona. This is
it's
across
not-
America.
it's across America, and it is So you have to sign a buyer's agreement,
Right,
and
so-
what that buyer's agreement, in short, is going to just let you understand what you work for. You know, like whatever your realtor, it's all negotiable. Whatever you come up with, your realtor, but you want a good realtor that knows this stuff, that's been in this 10, 15, 20 years, that can, or works with a group, that's in that and has done.
I have only been there for a few years, but I've been doing this with him for 5 or 6 years. I know the market.
Yeah.
So yeah, but the thing is too is that if someone just came into Kona recently and they didn't know,
They don't know the nuances of what's going on with the different complexes.
Right,
who
right,
had
right.
big assessments already.
Yeah.
They just Kona Sea Ridge had huge assessments a year ago.
Yeah, just a year ago.
Yeah, like 40 grand for the 3 bedrooms and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So, and it's a good complex.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
It's got beautiful amenities.
yeah.
But
so-
I actually, Jana sold a condo in there, and it was because the woman was leaving because of
The assessment.
that one
Yeah,
assessment.
yeah.
So she's
Now
probably
it's
happy that
coming.
she's now out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, so supply and demand would state that the price of those condos would probably have to come down to meet what people now have to pay in HOAs. Am I correct?
No,
No?
it doesn't. I mean, I in theory, that's what
In
it is,
theory,
right?
okay.
I mean, I had that discussion with one of the politicians that we interviewed last month, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys just need to do this and that'll take care of that. You know, everybody buys on, your cap rate. And I'm like, no, that's not here. Nothing cap rates in Kona.
No.
Okay.
Oh, you mean
For a
okay, yeah.
condo,
Yeah.
right?
You're not going to make a profit
You're
right
not
off
gonna
the
make a
bat
profit. If you
because
put
they're too
50%
expensive.
down, you're lucky to break even.
Yeah, that's true.
So they're not buying it here. They're buying it here for the experience, the location, things like that. This isn't Southern California. This isn't Florida. We got 10 million
Yeah,
condos along the
yeah.
beach. This is Hawaii, and we're away from all the craziness and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
And we're halfway to the exotic rest of the world. So it's not the same. So it's not going to trickle down to that, I don't think.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, when we meet 5 months from now,
Yeah.
let's see if the
So
prices of those condos and those complexes, those specific complexes.
yeah.
I think
We'll
that
look
I
at,
think that the ones that can do short-term vacation rental are not going to have the same effect because they can pass off those extra fees to the tourists that stay in the houses through Airbnb, right? So you can just raise the price of what it's going to take to stay here to cover those costs, right? But if you're living in full time in some of these other complexes where that's not happening,
right.
I think we're going to have a different experience.
I mean, we saw a couple of them in there 400s.
Yeah,
You know,
you haven't seen
I mean,
one in the
so-
400s for a while.
Yeah. It's
So,
been
yeah.
years. So
Let's see.
it could be, yeah.
Because, I don't think that, come on, we've been here for a while. Have you ever seen anything like this before happen to the market here in Kona?
Well, I mean, I was
something
here in
like-
2008.
Yeah,
when
okay,
they
not
crashed.
the housing crisis, which hit the whole country.
Right.
But something specific
So,
like this.
but see, this insurance thing's hitting the whole country too.
Yeah.
So, interesting, these people are finding out, I think, that are listing here to go buy in another state are finding out, oh, wait.
Yeah, if once I
They're
leave
getting- they're-
this, then I go to something else
Yeah.
and they have the same problem.
So I have a client right now that's buying in Florida that they just got hit with one of the places there, $100,000 assessment
Ooh.
per unit. They're having because of the collapse of the condo there in Florida, right? I mean,
yeah,
that's,
in Miami, yeah.
yeah. So it's happening worldwide. It's not just Hawaii. So the whole world is going to have to deal with this problem.
Yeah, and maybe when people have to pay more for their insurance costs across the board. But then supply and demand always comes in. So it's if you can afford it, you'll pay for it.
Yeah.
And so if it's a valuable place like Kona is, then people just figure out a way to make it
It's
happen.
pricing the average person out of owning a home.
That's
which
what it's
is-
doing.
That's
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah, the insurance commissioner said, especially like in Honolulu, young people, the condo is usually their first entrance into the
Yeah.
home market, and when you have to pay $1,300 in HOA fees, and then on top of that another $400 in insurance fees or whatever, they're saying,
Yeah.
you know what, you're paying as much in fees as you would for the mortgage payment.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's time to just buy a house at that point.
Well, if it, based
Yeah.
on how this is going to go.
Yeah.
But our friend who owns a condo in North Lake Tahoe, they're not even. You can't even sell those condos now. They've made it so difficult to sell because you have to have it so that it is like almost like impervious to a wildfire. And they are like hitting these people with all kinds of money to make it happen. So they're stuck not being able to sell at all because it hasn't hit what exactly they have to pay. So he can even get rid of the condo if he wanted to right now because they're stuck in it, trying to figure out how
How they
anybody
make it
can.
fireproof?
Yeah, because they can't sell it the
Metal
way it is.
roofs and change
yeah.
the siding on the units, I guess, is going to be the
And then
thing.
somebody
That's
has to
gonna be
pay for
huge.
that. Yeah. So in that, at least we're not that bad here.
Well, yeah, and I started to tell the story. Did I tell the story already?
Which one?
About the metal roof? on
No,
the house?
yeah. But how do you have to put the metal
Yeah,
roof in your
yeah,
house?
metal roof,
Yeah.
so-
And so that's another thing I was telling this guy that's thinking about listing his house. I said you might want to start thinking about paying for the roof to put it to a
Yeah.
point where insurance companies will actually
Yeah.
put insurance policy on your house.
Yeah.
And so these are just these are things that we're just talking about because as they continue to keep affecting housing, I think at least we're bringing it up so people know. And the
Yeah.
more information we find out, we'll
Yeah,
let you
don't
guys
be
know.
surprised because I had a ton of phone calls and text messages and emails 3 months ago. They started coming in, and like I said, I just got this one 2 days ago, and it's going to, people. It's the new normal. Sorry.
Yeah, life is getting expensive.
Yeah.
But you know what, though? It's interesting, and I'm not, trying to whatever. But I think about 25 years ago, we had a chance to have everyone have to, like, shoulder the cost of having climate change, like mitigation, let's just say. And the corporations were like, oh, no, we can't afford it. Well, the piper has to get paid somewhere. So now we're all paying for it.
Yeah.
And one way or the other, Houston was underwater again last week with that hurricane. And at the end of the day, we're all paying for everybody's problems.
Yeah.
Right? So this is ours. So anyway.
On a side note,
Okay.
Yeah.
Lance was, and this is not Lance, this was Brad was asking, do you know if they have permeable concrete on the island? Is his question.
I do not know that answer, Brad. I'm sorry.
I haven't seen anybody do that. Actually, I saw that in Santa Cruz, and I thought that was really cool. But it's expensive. And so,
what is that exactly?
permeable concrete?
Yeah.
Oh, basically, it lets the water go through the concrete. So that way, if you have an area that needs the groundwater, having the permeable concrete makes it so that it doesn't affect.
Not flooding.
Because, so the water can actually go into the ground to do the thing it's supposed to do instead of all washing away, like let's say in Phoenix or places that have it's a concrete jungle. All the water just washes out, so it doesn't go into the ground. So this is a way that it could stop, but it's very expensive, and so it has to be one of those things. If you're green and you believe in it, you put that step down because you're paying for it ahead of time, like a lot of stuff that's green. So
it's okay. I mean, I understand what you say, but I don't.
the water actually goes right through the concrete.
Okay, so you're doing that in, I guess, in parking lots and that type of thing.
Yeah, large
So
swaths.
it wouldn't be in the construction of the home. It
No,
would
no,
be,
it's in
it would
large
be
parking lots.
in
Yeah,
the park,
yeah.
that type of thing.
Yeah,
Okay. All right, I get it. Thank
So
you.
like condo complexes, shopping malls, things like
Yeah.
that, where enough concrete goes in where you're actually causing that water to rush off.
Yeah, that is a good idea. I'm not familiar with that. I haven't heard of that here.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to add in Hawaii and see.
Futura stone, no. Permeable hardscape packet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one though.
Yep.
It's coming. Like
I'll
those
ask my guy.
self-driving cars.
Yeah.
The future has to show up here somewhere.
Yeah.
Parking lots and driveways.
Yeah, big things.
Thanks,
yeah.
Brad.
Yeah. Okay, so with
All
that, the good news
That's a wrap.
is that it's summer in Hawaii, and it's only about what, like I'd say 78 degrees sitting here right now.
Yeah.
And it's 116 in other parts of the country.
Yeah.
So if you are looking to get away from the crazy, we sometimes do this during the winter time. We say, well, if you don't want to freeze anymore, come here. Now it's like if you don't want to bake anymore,
Yeah.
come here. So
Shake and bake.
yeah, because look at this guy out here in
Well,
Hawaii with long sleeves.
They're rolled up. So I've been on airplanes and in meetings.
Yeah, but he's not sweating. So okay, so then
yeah.
we'll come back to you guys. I think we're going to be trying to do the island wide market update with our mortgage guy next week. I think next week is the third Thursday. Yeah, third Thursday.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you guys want to see what's happening across the entire island and getting that mortgage update and figuring out what's happening with the rates,
Yeah.
tune in next week.
Cool.
So, okay.
Thanks.
Aloha.
Aloha.